right, everyone. What's going on, everyone? This is Zen here from Zen Multiverse, and I hope you're having a great day. So, I picked up a lot of books, so we're gonna do the top 20 hottest comic books of the week, right? And the week that I'm speaking of is this past week. Currently, it is February 5th. I can't believe it's February 5th already. Like, I feel like we just finished up with like Halloween not too long ago. So, I'm doing it on a Saturday, but this is technically the week of January 31st, and New Comic Book Day was on February 2nd. So, I'm doing it a little bit later. So, before we do that, team, time to hit that intro.
This one is for the teacher who passed me the math test face down and didn't think I was going to become successful. This is for 9 times 9 equals 81.
You will never amount to anything. We shall see, brother.
Let's go!
All right, team, bringing it back. All right, so pickups for the week. I got a couple. I got a lot. So let's go over my pickups for the week. So we're going to start off with our number 20 pick of the week, and this goes to Xmen number 6. Here we go, looking all amazing. Now on the cover, there's a character some of you know and some of you don't know, and this is Captain Krakoa. Captain Krakoa is a brand new character, but he is played none other, or played, I'm saying it like it's a TV show, but he is, it's a character, right, within the X-Men, and it's a plot. I'm not going to put any spoilers unless you truly want to know. Ragin, what's going on? Do you sleep? Not really. To be honest, Ragin, I have not been sleeping so good lately. You know what I mean? Steven, what's going on, my brother? Yeah, so this is Captain Krakoa. This is my number 20 pick of the week so far. Pretty cool. All right, let's put that to the side. Hold on, before I go to the next book, I gotta get a little bit of tea. Cheers, everyone. That's hot. All right, team. The next book on those, and this is kind of an older one. This comes in the form of Darkhold Omega. The story wrapped up pretty good. I would say a little bit lackluster than what I expected it to be, but I really wanted to get this cover in particular, just really showcasing that demonic looking form for Scarlet Witch and everyone else in the background in their Darkhold state, which is pretty cool. Let me bring a little closer action, you know what I mean? All right. There are some stories within the Darkhold books that I still want to know more about, right? Especially when we're looking at Black Bolt, you know what I mean? So yeah. All right, here we go. So that's number 18. I have to go backwards. Aggressively relaxing. What's going on? Yeah, I mean, the Darkhold books are just like pretty. I love those little, you know what it is? I love the type of like what if type of stories, and I think my favorite story out of all of them had to be, there's two, right? If I was to go in order, I would probably say the Iron Man one was just really creepy. That was my number one, and the second out of the Darkhold books would probably be the Wasp. Hers went pretty dark too. Everyone else's, but the one that I wanted to know more about that it didn't seem like it had a conclusion was the Black Bolt one, right? And that one was pretty unique, and I just wish they did 2 more books, but it is what it is, right? So Darkhold, pretty cool. All right. That was my 19. Number 18 on my list. Guys, correct me. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get confused with the numbers later, so I'm not even going to do numbers anymore. When I say like the last 3, then I'll do it. All right. Is Green Lantern number 10. Now, the Green Lantern stories have been pretty decent. They haven't been bad, and I haven't been reading them consistently. Sometimes I would go on Comixology, I would just like purchase it and just read it digitally, right? But I really got this for this cover. Like I have to, let me bring this a little bit closer. Look at this cover. Come on, focus. I guess that's all I got. Look at this cover, team. They've been coming out with some really great artwork. Yeah, aggressively. The dark hole one is really gross, and it reminded me of Akira a little bit. But it just, I don't know, just like the binding, the technology, and it seemed like for me that one was straight horror. It was straight horror in itself. I was reading it, I was like this is intense. It didn't feel like a Marvel book. It, you know what it felt like? What's the name of, maybe you guys know in the chat, what's the name of that series where everything goes to pots or everything goes to hell in the Marvel series, where like for example the Hulk, he got the gamma radiation, but it was just a cancerous body, right? And I think like Magneto ended up doing his powers. He had to wear like this harness in order to control the powers, but then it ended up I don't know, like breaking at some point, and a whole bunch of like metal like went to him and then killed everyone around. I forgot the name of that storyline. I don't know. Someone in the chat might pretty much know. I have to collect those books. All right, here we go. The next book on my list for my top 20 goes to this beautiful cover. Woo! Oh my goodness, Shuri, you looking good, girl. All right, so I got this one. Didn't get it from my LCS. I got it from Comic Pops. Comic Pops is a reputable comic seller, and this is Comic Tom's dad, right? Which is Comic Pops. And this book, I got two of these. I got the Virgin copy, and I also got the one with the title Black Panther on it, right? I think it's somewhere over here. Let me see if I could roll over and get it real quick. And if I can't fast enough, then I'm a noob. Oh, here it is. Yeah. So Black Panther #1, variant edition. Oh my goodness. Look, guys. Look at this. Damn, she looks good. Let me put both of them here together. Yeah. I thought it was like a special, you know, kind of like what if stories that I thought were really cool overall. All right, the next book on my list for my top 20, and this is kind of a throwback, but then they released this variant at my not this variant, but this cover at my LCS, so I decided to get it. And this goes to Marvel Zombies Resurrection. Look at this. Oh my goodness, She-Hulk, you still look good right there too, girl. Look at it. Yeah, that Shuri cover is absolutely amazing. It's just like, it gives, let me go back to it. Just bringing it up close, the art style just looks good. She just looks good. I don't even know what to say. I mean, she's pretty thin though in the middle section, but the artist really captured. You could tell that he probably captured someone as he was drawing to get inspiration, but it just looks really good overall, right? So I'm pretty sure we're not gonna see Shuri looking like this in Black Panther 2, but I would want Shuri to look like this, but it's okay. So Marvel Zombies. Sorry, She-Hulk. I stopped talking about you for a second. All right, the next book on this list for my top 20 would go to this one. This is just Iron Man #16, but it's good. It's good. This story is pretty good. Spoiler alert, I'm about to tell you guys, so if you don't want to hear it, then my bad. I only tell spoilers all the time, truly. But Iron Man becomes a god. He becomes a god, and this is just a variant cover because I wanted it because it looked pretty nostalgic. But in this book, he becomes a god, and he's on his way back to Earth to do something, right? To fix everything because he feels like he can fix everything. But the coolest thing about it seems like all of the I would say the celestial type beings, right, and things of that nature, let him have the power, right? The kind of hierarchy of celestial beings in the Marvel universe, they let him keep the power, which I was really interested by. They contemplated like, what should we do? And I think it's one of those things where they let him have the powers because it's gonna lead into something else or something of the nature. I don't know. I know I didn't. I sounded like I was giving you guys a riddle just now, but it's because I didn't truly uh, fully grasp everything that was going on. The next book on my top 20 list goes to, and this is a 30th. I think the 30 years of Spawn, I believe, right? So this is Spawn number 326. Just looks pretty cool. Sometimes it's the simple covers that just look like absolutely amazing, right? Milo, man, what's going on, bro? Yeah, sometimes the simple covers just look absolutely amazing. Look at this. Okay. And then followed by that, I didn't pick up Spawn number 325, so I got Spawn number 325. And here it is right here. I think this is Cygor. Yeah, Cygor on the cover looking all boss. Used to be a villain for Spawn, and now he's an ally of sorts, right? I think they kind of control him in a way, which kind of sucks, but yeah. Really cool cover. Look at that detail in the artwork. As you can tell, a lot of these books I got it for the artwork. Yes, the story too, but you know, art is beauty. You know what I mean? So, all right, next one. We're kind of getting into the recent pickups of this week that I got from my top 20. And this one goes to the Excellent, right? I got this variant cover looking really good. I'm interested on how this book will do because this is an obscure team with obscure abilities that I definitely want to do probably some videos on, but I'm not gonna say I'm gonna do it and then I don't do it because I've been on a run from my Tosin Oduye videos lately. So yeah, we have Excellent. The next one on my list, and one of my favorite series of all time so far in 2022, goes to X Lives of Wolverine, which is on par with X Deaths of Wolverine. So I got this variant cover, and I got this variant cover because it just reminded me of the old school 90s X-Men show. That's all. You know what I mean? Seeing Wolverine just like clawing away at that old school looking Sentinel and bust him and just like tearing through is like absolutely amazing. Yeah, the art. Go back to the black. Go back to the Black Panther. Let me tell you something right now. This is art. This is art right here. Look at this. This should be the number one. Look at her. Wait, hold on. Let me try to go. You guys can see the camera, but let me try to put it by her eyes, so it looks like her eyes are shining. You look good, girl. You look good. Hold on. Let me just. Just in case you guys are wondering what this is a robot that I gotta unpack, but I'm gonna do that on stream one day or make a video. Let me just leave you right there. All right, looking good, Sherry. All right, next book on the list is Justice League Incarnate number 4, and you love my reaction to this book. Just looking at this right here. Oh my goodness, this cover. Sometimes I'm not a fan of like the what is it called? Photorealism, right? Photorealism covers, but this one, I like it. President Superman is one of my favorite Supermen of all time. Boom, boom. Love the story, and you know, it's funny. President Superman has a story that I love, but it wasn't until I read Superman Red and Black. I forgot what number, right? I can't remember if it's number 6 or number 5 or even number 3. I don't really remember, but it kind of goes in the day of the life of President Superman, and it just reminded me of like how much work we all have to do and it's hard to do the right thing all of the time, but you can never give up. So it wasn't until I read that book that he became like one of my favorite Superman or superheroes, right? Because him juggling being the president and being Superman and trying to at least get some time out to just breathe, I felt that in that book, right? I think I have to do a story on that, right? I read that on Comixology. I didn't actually buy the book. The only Superman Red and Blue I truly wanted to get was this cover. I love this cover so much, team. It has literally every Superman on the cover. Bizarro's on it. They're all there. They're just. I want to get this in CGC, but I don't want to send it to CGC. I just want to go on. I just want to go on eBay and just like click. I got it. Thank you. Send it to me. Yeah, this is really cool, and I'm really digging Justice League Incarnate, specifically just because of the combination of characters and also the story too. Right? Captain Carrot is there. Right? There's a whole bunch of other characters. The Batman from the Flashpoint is there, which they dubbed his name, and they dubbed the name by him. I forgot, Doctor something. And it was coined by a character named. Well, let me hold on because I'm about to show you her cover in the Justice League Incarnate number 4, the variant, because I got a variant for it. So I'm going to show you right now. And this is Captain. I think this is Captain Multiverse, right? Captain Multiverse, Zen Multiverse. All right, so this is her. She looks like she's wilding out though, right here. And she's like, the multiverse is dying, and it's your fault. I don't know if she's trying to talk to me and tell me, like, are you trying to tell me that I'm messing up the multiverse because it's now Zen Multiverse? Like, chill. But yeah, this is Captain Multiverse, right? The camera's looking pretty good right there. How come it's looking good right there, but when I was trying to show the Shuri one, it wasn't coming out that clear? Nah, it's just okay. I don't know. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Her powers are just basically part and parcel to the universe. There's only one version of her because she is Captain Multiverse. Yeah. All right, this next one, I definitely had to get this cover for my top 20, and this goes to the Order of the World Arkham City. Look at this cover. Oh my goodness. This is art right here too. Now someone will probably be like, whoa, that's not really, you see, it's the simple covers. Like, look at the colors. Look at the colors in combination with the void. It's just a void. You could get lost in this cover. You could just, guys, just look. Amazing. And I think these are like newer characters. Now, I haven't read the books. I know that seems a type of way, but I'm not gonna lie to you and act like, oh, I read every single book. Sometimes I get a lot of these books for the covers, for the artwork, right? And there will be times, rare times probably, when I'm feeling ripe in the summertime, I'll go back and read some of these books, right? That's just the way it is. All right, next one. Had to get this cover, and I'm very eager to read the story to know what's going on with Spider-Man. This is Savage Spider-Man number 1, and this is the variant cover. Look at this one, team. Damn right, he's looking pretty savage right now. He's looking, I'm not too sure what happened to my boy Spider-Man, but things are looking pretty rough. It reminds me of the old Spider-Man animated series in the early 90s, where he was going through the transformation of like, my arms, I have multiple arms, and now I'm kind of turning into a spider. So this is pretty cool. So he is now truly Spider-Man right here. But I want to know the story. I want to know what's going on with this guy. So I'm eager to read a good Spider-Man story to see how is he gonna overcome this, and if because he's like this, is this gonna be one of those kind of like tragic but kind of like horror-esque type of things? Like, he's turned into this type of spider and now he's wilding out. The only reason why I say that is because in Edge of the Spider-Verse, there is a Spider-Man who has this thirst, right? Or this hunger, rather. And part of it is encapsulating other human beings and then eating them, right? So Just definitely want to see that. All right. Hope everyone's having a good day, chilling, chillaxing, having a good day. I am gonna be streaming later. I know my gaming crew is probably like, Zen, you didn't stream any games, and this is supposed to be gaming weekend time. I am gonna stream today. I'm streaming Spider-Man Miles Morales because it won the survey slash poll, right? Poll. All right, the next book on my list, okay, goes to The Scorched, #1. Amazing. She's Spawn looking good. This just looks like a men's team. Like imagine that you're feeling all hyped to like fight, and then they just come out of nowhere and be like, all right, let's do it. They just look boss. Wow, look at this team. Spawn is not even in here because he's going through his own escapades, but I'm okay with that. Like, I just want to know what the other Spawns are doing. Gunslinger Spawn is an absolute amazing book. It's the writing is not super intense. It doesn't make me feel overwhelmed or anything. It's just fun because he's coming from his century into the current, and so he's trying to figure out the world. So Gunslinger Spawn is a whole separate book in the whole Spawn universe, but it's pretty cool. All right, next book on the list is X Deaths of Wolverine #1. Here we go, right here. Now, at the end of, I think it's this book, we do see this version of Wolverine, and I don't know. We don't know what's going on with this guy. We know that there's a mission that Wolverine has, and basically it's to save Professor X in his early lifehood. But what's happening is pretty interesting. They're utilizing Cerebro in order to. He's going back in time on a mental escape. But what I think is happening is that they're doing kind of like a Days of Future Past, where they're sending his mind into the past. But alongside this, Omega Red is also doing something similar because he's going against, it's kind of like a time cop type of thing, where Omega Red is also sending his psychology and essence to the past to do these things. But currently, that's not what's happening with this Wolverine, this specific Wolverine. But why I really love the X Death of Wolverine is because it does do a continuation from Moira McTaggart's story. ASMR, which is pretty cool. All right, team. Next book on the list, and I just spoke about it, and I had to get this cover from my top 20. As you can see, we're winding down, and this goes to Gunslinger Spawn #4. Look at this cover. Look at this cover. Now, they said in terms of I know someone who's a little bit more knowledgeable on the Spawn mythos can correct, but I believe when I was reading up that Gunslinger Spawn is actually one of the weaker spawns, if not the weakest spawn. But it doesn't mean that he's not one of the most skilled spawns, right? So yeah. That really was the best Wolverine covers. Time travel at Marvel is so interesting right now. Yeah, I've always been a proponent for time travel based stories as long as it's done well, right? And I feel like X Deaths and X Lives of Wolverine is doing it really, 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 really good. I got this cover and I got another cover. I didn't put it in the top 20. Let me just reach over because it's already like right here. These are kind of my bonus books that I got over here. I got this cover too. I'm interested because I'm wondering the way he was revealed. I'm wondering if Krakoa itself had like this. Is this like a leftover? Like, I wonder if this was a botched resurrection of Wolverine, and Krakoa took it and utilized Warlock to put some technarchy on it so that it could basically be what it is. That would be kind of weird and kind of nightmarish, but I like it, right? And I want to know what's his mission. What is this Wolverine's mission? I just want to know the story. But this cover with the yellow reminded me of the Phalanx. The Phalanx was, when I was younger, always used to scare the hell out of me, but I would still read the book. Because I think they beat the Phalanx with some virus thing. But I didn't think, when I first read the Phalanx stories and even watched it on the early X-Men shows, I didn't think they were going to beat them. I often thought there's no way they could win this, because the Phalanx were assimilating the heroes, and I was like, so their powers weren't truly working against it. But the Phalanx couldn't truly absorb or assimilate the mutants, right? Because I guess because of their DNA or things like that. At least in the TV show, but I think that was a little bit different in the in the comic books. Aggressive Relaxing said they have so many different ways to time travel, but also Kang Mini and 2099 ASM Spencer is saying there is consequences to all of this time manipulation. I think they're rebuilding an event. I think so too. I agree with you. They're and I forgot, Timeless gave quite a bit of information into the future of Marvel Comics, but also it's like, what are they preparing for? There is a word that's coming. I know it for sure. And I wonder if they're going to do something kind of like a crisis, right? A DC crisis in some type of sense. Yeah, that's just my theory. I've been thinking about it. As soon as I saw him, I was like, well, he kind of came up from the ground from like it kind of looked like an egg shape in some type of way when that Wolverine emerged. Like, he didn't come out of a portal or anything like that. They showed that emergence of that plant looking type thing. So I'm wondering if, like, I don't know, the 5 did a resurrection. That one didn't go so well because you remember, or they could have done it 2 ways, right? 2 ways. The five were doing a resurrection, because he died so many times in X Factor. They all died so many times in X Factor, and they got resurrected. So I'm wondering if one of the bodies didn't go so well, and Krakoa was like, I gotcha. Wherever they were supposed to be disposed, right? There's probably some kind of disposal place, because I'm pretty sure all the resurrections were not perfect, right? So I'm wondering if that happened, or is it just one of the bodies of Wolverine that did die, and Krakoa basically took it and did the same thing with Technarchy, which is basically traversing through the body and it's just puppeteering it in some type of way, right? Because it's very interesting what's happened with Doug and Warlock when you read Inferno, and them deciding to let Maureen McTaggart go, but also her having that kind of Technarch arm too. I know she lost her arm, but then why did they give that to her, right? And what will that do for her? I find her story like really intriguing. It kind of sucks that she doesn't have her powers anymore, but I understand why they took it away, right? Because she's the end all be all, right? All right, the next on my top 20. What is it? I have 2 more books on my top 20. So here we go. We're on number 2. My number 2 goes to one of my favorite indie type of stories of all time, and this is Ice Cream Man. And this is the Van Gogh edition. So this is Ice Cream Man number 27, and this is the Van Gogh cover. Definitely wanted to get this. It looks so great. So this is the Virgin variant, limited to 400 copies. Art by Miguel Mercado. Really cool. Excellent cover. Amazing. Really good. Really, really, really good. Whew. Love it. All right, team. I mean, my real number 1 is Shuri, but sorry, Shuri, I came a little bit too close to a certain area. All right, so my number, before I get, this is not my number 1. Sorry, this is my number 19. But I mean, my number 2. That was my number 2. I knew I was gonna get the numbers wrong. All right, so my next one goes to Black Panther number 3 or number 300, depending on how you're looking at the numbers. And this is the first introduction of Tosin Oduye, right? So this is it right here. Pretty cool, awesome. Look at this cover. This cover is so good because it just shows Storm just looking absolutely phenomenal and amazing. She looks great. She looks really, really good. Um, for a lot of different ways, right? She looks boss, but she also just looks good, right? And you see some characters, right? Um, People are pretty hyped for this. Not this particular. Yes, it's the first appearance of Tosin Oduye, but also people are trying to get that variant edition. That variant edition that's like the 1 in 25, and uh, because of that Miles reference. But on that cover, it's Storm, Gentle, and Black Panther. But it's a cool cover. I'm not gonna try to get that one because they're selling on eBay for like ridiculous amount of money. What I am trying to get though is the second printing, which has the first cover appearance. I just did a video on Zen Talks, previous episode on Zen Talks, just to this one. So it's pretty cool. And I like it because they give multiple stories in this book. They give the main story, which is basically the one, that's kind of represented on the cover, and then later on they do have some side stories until the last story that they give is the introduction to Gentle. I said to Gentle, to Tosin Oduye. If you're interested to know more about the character, I just did pretty much 4 videos on him. Yesterday I did a video on why he fights and kind of his backstory of his tribe and things of that nature, right? In the most bland version. I didn't try to do too many details, or I didn't take notes. I was just talking from my forehead because I had recently just read it, right? And if you're interested to know more about Gentle, because Gentle is also featured in this book, I did a powers discussed video on his powers and his tragic story, right? Last book on my list, with the stopping of the song, goes to, and a lot of you already have this book, but I got this book because it means a lot to me, in a lot of different ways, right? And it goes to Captain America Truth, right? This is basically is this the compendium, or basically it has pretty much all the stories? Yeah. And this is the story of Isaiah Bradley, right? And I'm glad that they released this. I'm pretty sure they released it for Black History Month, which is cool. I'm okay with that. But I wanted this. I got number 1, the first appearance. I still want to get number 1 in CGC, but I just wanted to know the whole story. And I've been reading through it, and the story is intense in a lot of different ways because it is parallel to what people of color, Black people, have gone through when you were talking about the Tuskegee experiments, right? And the parallel to this is that they gathered about 300 soldiers, Black soldiers, in order to experiment, to gather data, right? Essentially, to see if the super soldier experiments work, and many of them died. I think it came down to about 6 that were left, right? And through gruesome experiences, there were like muscle mass, high levels of cellular muscle mass going on, and it went dark until we had one last one, and the last person was Isaiah Bradley. And yeah, it's a pretty dark story, because then he is in prison because he takes Captain America's suit because he's trying to do the right thing, and through that he ends up losing his psychology and his mentality, right? So it's a great story, but a sad one. There's nothing else I could say about it, right? And a lot of superheroes do know about him, but a lot of superheroes don't know about him, right? And he was at Storm and Black Panther's wedding too, right? So just showing you some things. Here's just a little bit of the art. I'm not 100% a fan of the art, but I've come to really love it as I was reading, because it shows a couple of things. It shows depictions of what people perceive Black people to look like, but it also shows those hyper features. Those hyper features make it really cartoony, but at the same time, it makes it cartoony in the sense of when you're reading those old school newspapers and looking at the cartoons, it looks like that, right? But then you start to read it and you're like, wow, this story is really dark. It's quite the opposite of cartoony in that sense. So this book is pretty powerful to me in a lot of different ways, and I love it. So that was my number one, and that is, team, my top 20 books of the week. Does it mean I'm gonna do a top 20 books of every week? Absolutely not, because I don't have that much money every single week. But I wanted to do a top 20, and I have some extra books here. Here's one of my indies. This is gonna be number 0 in a really great way that I haven't read yet, and I bought. And this goes to Night of the Abyss. Really promoting Black creators. And this one, I'm gonna open this up a little bit, right? Just a little bit, because I saw the artwork and I was like, what is going on? I haven't opened it since it came about weeks ago. Jeez, okay. I'm gonna have to repackage this. I could tell already. Just so you all could look at the artwork, I'm probably gonna do a whole breakdown on this book, and I would love to have the creator on the show. I'm gonna try to invite him. Just gonna open up to a random page. Oh, this is a nice random page. Look at this artwork. Just wanted to show you guys this. So this is created by Quentin Dorsey, and art is by Kowalski or Kowalski, right? Let me just show you so that you could find their. This is just volume 1. Really good. Shouting out this creator. I'm gonna do a whole separate video on this though, for Black History Month, and also because just really shouting out creators too, right? What I'm gonna try to do more on my channel is do more interviews, but interviews for indie creators, for books that a lot of people don't know. Because we know we have the big two, right? Marvel and DC, and then followed by that we have like Boom Studios, Image Comics, and things like that. But we have some really great creators out there. Oh, one more bonus, like 2 more bonuses, right? I did get a variant for this one. I was wilding out. I wanted to get all the variants for X Depths of Wolverine, and then this one for Darkhawk, so you guys can see it right here. Boom. Amazing. All right, guys, I'm gonna hop out of here. I'm gonna go to the gym and exercise my forehead, aka my body. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you're watching the playback, enjoy the playback, right? And with that being said, everyone, this is Zen from Zen Multiverse, saying peace, love, and prosperity. If you're enjoying the content, drop me a like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I'll catch you all later for the next video. Now, I am going to be streaming a little bit later. Look out for that kind of notification that lets you know when I'm going to stream. Hit the bell, because I'm streaming Spider-Man Miles Morales. It's my first time playing it. I haven't played it at all. It's going to be a fresh new experience. I was actually waiting to get the PlayStation 5 version, but then I feel like the PlayStation 5 is still not released yet. Many people have it, but you don't see it. So I'm going to play it on PS4, but the graphics look absolutely amazing, so no worries about that. But yeah, all right, everyone, I'm going to catch you all later. I'm out of here. Be good to yourself, be good to others, and do something good today. And if I see you guys on the stream later, let me know what you did that was really good. Not just for yourself, but for others. Later, everyone.